Hey everybody, it's James, otherwise known as the Skate Punk Lefty, back here with another video. And today we're talking about something really bad and tragic, so viewer discretion is advised for this video. If you have an issue hearing about things like hate crimes or, bullying, this may not be the video for you. So today we're going to be talking about a non-binary student by the name of Nex Benedict who was basically taken to the bathroom and beaten to death by a couple of students. And to expand on this subject matter, I want to talk a little bit about bullying, parenting, and far right influences on the way that we live our lives. So I want to go over a little bit of the body cam footage. So she in this video provides a little bit. Well, they provide some of their testimony of what happened in this video, and it's just like, I feel like, the way that the police officer framed this, and the way that it's being looked at by people, especially in the comments below this video, this is something the fuck else. Let's watch.
Camera video shows a 16-year-old Oklahoma high school student describing a fight they had in school just one day before their tragic death.
They came at me, they grabbed onto my hair, I grabbed onto them. I threw one of them.
Nex Benedict, who uses they-them pronouns, speaking to an Owasso police officer from the emergency room of a nearby hospital.
He got me on the ground, started beating the shit out of me.
Newly released school surveillance cameras show Benedict in the cafeteria with classmates, then walking into a bathroom where Benedict says a fight broke out.
They had said something like, "Why do they laugh like that?" And they were talking about us in front of us. And so I went up there and I poured water on them. Okay. And then all three of them came at me.
Shortly after, a faculty member rushes into the bathroom.
Are trying to use that as a backdoor escape, justification for a person being like literally beaten to death. And I feel like a lot of these people are fucking hypocrites because they wouldn't apply this logic to literally anything else. That's for one. Two, when it comes to bullying, whether it's physical or verbal abuse, all bullying is not somebody putting their hands on you. Now, if you're in the bathroom and you got three people surrounding you, talking about you, calling you slurs and not letting you out of the bathroom and what have you, that will lead to you doing anything possible to try to get out of that situation. And I feel like there was more to this story, but a lot of kids, and I was one of those kids, ironically enough, when they experience bullying, you don't always have all the details with you, or sometimes you don't even bother to want to mention all of the details because you've been bullied so much, and then they have this shit we're gonna go over next, is zero tolerance policy when it comes to school bullying and what have you, to the point where you don't feel as if you want to bother telling the full story about what's happened to you. And not trying to speak for a dead person, but just saying, just like in my experiences with bullying, seeing it, and going through it myself, physical intimidation and incitement of violence is not always somebody pushing you or punching you or something like that.
Later, Benedict is seen walking to the principal's office and then out of the school, escorted by their mom. The next day, Nex's mom calling 911, telling dispatchers Nex is having trouble breathing. She later apologized on a GoFundMe page for not using Nex's desired pronouns.
She got beat up at school yesterday. I took her to the hospital last night.
Paramedics rushed Nex to the hospital where they later died. Owasso Public Schools tells NBC News they don't have a comment on the new video. According to Owasso Police, the medical examiner's office determined that Benedict did not die from trauma, and they're awaiting toxicology results. But
that
the newly released
video up nothing but bullshit. So what the fuck is this implying? Was she on like quote unquote hormones? Was she doing drugs or some shit like that? Did she go to the bathroom or back to her house to do meth really fucking fast? You see, a lot of, and it's like, this comes with something else I want to go over in a second. What I want to go over in a second to talk about. First of all, I feel as if, this is a good time to segue into my next segment to talk about these poor excuse of and failures of fucking teachers that were resigning over these students. All these teachers suck, all of them fail. And there's many teachers across America who have this weird fucking idea, and sometimes you can even see it in media where the alternative or goth person, but especially, punks back in the day and skaters were viewed as bullies and, do ne'er-do-wells and shit like that. When actual bullies look like this or look like this. I didn't get the image search on this one, because you never know what's going to come up when you Google cheerleaders. Most bullies are in these two groups of people. Maybe they're on the debate team. And it's fucking weird that, in all schools, and that includes even black schools and shit like that, you have a kid, whether it's, a man, woman, non-binary person, young woman, young man, whatever. And they're dealing with somebody bullying them. They play fucking computer games. They're on their, I guess, what would it be? The Nintendo, Switch nowadays. Back in the day, it was like the DSi and shit like that, or PSP, that plays video games all day and sits quietly getting bullied by somebody that's 250 pounds. And a lot of these dumbass teachers, and I'm calling all teachers across America out, yeah, you dumbasses, cannot decipher who's actually inciting the violence and who's actually causing the bullying. Like, this shit is so fucking asinine. And these bad students are assisted along by, first off, this shitty zero tolerance bullying policy, which they are still enforcing to this fucking day, where regardless of who started what, it absolves the teachers of fucking doing their due diligence to look into what's happening and blame both students, to the point where this dumbass shit is so bad where to the point where even if it's like undeniable that you are defending yourself, even if it's undeniable that you're defending yourself, you still get a shot on your record. You still get defamed for fucking defending yourself. And it makes it look as if you're a person that likes to get into trouble and get into fights. I remember personally going through this shit back when I was younger, where I was in high school, and like my literal school counselor, this dipshit white airhead motherfucker, was all like, oh, you don't really like talk to people, and you're so distant from everybody else. You only talk to a couple of people. And then that led to my class listings a lot of years of me being removed from classes where I would be in classes with my friends and put with assholes and dipshits who didn't like me and never would give a fuck about me. Point being is just that this policy absolves both bad students, bad parents, and bad teachers of doing their due diligence of, deciding what's going on. And it's like the analogy that I made earlier. And it's like, I could imagine what this person was going through every fucking day. Like, and it's like, and I'm only using this slur as context. Like, getting called a dyke, getting called a bitch, getting called, a F slur, getting hemmed up in the fucking bathroom, getting into fights, getting your stuff stolen, people bumping into you. All this shit, builds up in a person, and the teachers and the faculty sit around and don't do shit about it. Partially because a lot of people, like the people on the debate team, the cheerleaders, the jocks, and some of the straight A students, they financially benefit the school. So the teachers don't really want to expel, suspend, or reprimand these people as necessary, because they bring publicity and money to the school. Or they have favoritism with certain people on certain teams and what have you. So they give them a pass. If not, and and it's like, let's be honest, sometimes, if not fucking some of these students, let's be fucking real. Because I guess I'm going all out right now because I'm pissed because, even though I'm not LGBT myself, and of course I'm not non-binary, I'm a married straight man, this could have been me at any point in time. Because back when I was younger and before I started defending myself in fights regularly, especially after my mom started to see a little bit about what was going on in schools, I could have been a person that some shit like this happened to, or some of my friends. And that's why I feel so strongly about covering this topic, is because it seems like nobody in this situation, from parents to the police to the staff members at the school, wanted to do their due diligence because they want to keep their fucking reputation of their school squeaky clean. They wanted to keep their fucking varsity cheerleading squad, kept up and fucking undefamed. The fucking daughter of the fucking police officer is sucking the principal's dick. I don't fucking know. Whatever the fuck is going on in this situation. whatever's going on in this situation that led to a person dying, there could have been some intervention somewhere down the line. And it's like everybody, every adult in this situation failed this person. And then we get to later on, we talk about some of the motivations to the bullying. Now, I'm not saying this person whose Wikipedia page I got up right now, I'm not going to even say the name, had anything to do with it. But apparently this son of a bitch is on the the Oklahoma school board when this fuckhead lives in fucking California or New York. I think it's New York because she was harassing Miss Cortez, Senator Cortez, a few months back. It was a video of her harassing her. And it's like this grifting scumbag, this sarcastic terrorist asshat, and she's not the only person that's responsible for this, because this is why yesterday when I went over that not yesterday, this was 2 weeks ago now, I went over that Ben Shapiro Destiny debate, and I said to myself, do not entertain them when they try to equate right-wing terrorism with left-wing terrorism, or the things that problems that right-wing people cause and left-wing people cause. Left-wing people can be kind of annoying on Twitter. They can call people racist or whatever out of pocket. But this is the shit I'm talking about. This fucking terrorism where people, you know, are doing mass shootings, where people are assaulting people, you know, many different kinds of people. And what really bugs me about all this shit is that this type of shit, you know, beating somebody until they can't move, until they're bleeding and shit, bullying somebody, having the fucking gall and guts to dehumanize somebody to the point in your mind where you think you can assault them, that shit starts at home. Now, a lot of you racist motherfuckers like to always talk about how things black people do start at home, but shit like this also starts at home. And I also want to segue to the fact that a lot of bullying, ironically enough, yes, black conservatives, is rooted in white supremacist, social stereotypes, heteronormativity, or sexism. And a lot of parents are not, you know, like Trump says, they're not sending their best to school. They're not sending their best at fucking all. And when these little fuckers go to school, this is shit that they do. And one thing also on a personal note, before I end this video, which is shorter than I thought it was going to be, that makes me so fucking mad about this, is that soon, you know, I'm going to be having a child. And it scares me to fucking death that if they identify as something different from what they were born, or if they express themselves a little too much in the wrong direction, are they going to be the victim of some type of vitriolic bullying that leads to them dying or coming home hurt? We need to all, as fucking adults, in these situations, you know, especially as they appear more middle school and up, do your fucking part. And don't be fucking like in this fucking sand brain thick-headedness in this whole situation. I think is what makes me the most upset. Because this could have easily been prevented if teachers across America, and I know it's some teachers that are, but it's a lot of teachers that are not, just do their fucking job. It's not difficult for people to see bullying, to know bullying is happening, to know somebody is being defamed, to know somebody is going through a lot, to know that, again, with my analogy where you have a motherfucker that look like he's 25 at 15 bullying somebody because he likes computers and shit, or a group of bitches calling somebody a dyke because she dresses kind of tomboyish and shit. This shit is often out in the open and easily preventable. Everybody needs to do their fucking job. And as far as later on in this shit, because in the worst part about this shit, and technically this kind of reminds me of the shit that happened to the Brianna J girl from the United Kingdom, is that it seems as if nobody is trying to do their fucking job. Why in the fuck do we need a toxicology report for somebody that, and it's like every time a minority has something happen to them, we got to go through this shit where, oh, maybe the reason why they died was not because of because of the fucking beating, which it obviously fucking was, but it's because it could have been something in her system. She fucking overdosed a day over. I can't even, bro. And let's read some of these fucking comments from some of these fucking ghouls before I take off. Load that shit up, give it to me. Because I'm outraged when the instigator of a fight is painted as a victim. Tell me more. Using other pronouns during a noun can be extremely confusing. Okay, maybe that person. Is this going to end up being a heart problem? Oh, I think that person is making fun of when Heather Heyer died from getting hit by a car by that neo-Nazi James Alex Fields, and people were saying that she had a fucking heart attack. When you start a fight over getting offended by someone's words and choose to throw something on them, you don't know what they can throw on you, then don't play victim. If someone is taking trash to you and you can't take it, just walk away. You see, these dipshits will never apply this logic to themselves in reverse, because these are the same motherfuckers that cannot stand people saying things like they're proud to be black, they are proud to be gay, they're proud to be a woman. These people cannot stand to be in a country with people whose opinions conflicted them to the point where they talk about civil war, and you are telling them to turn the fucking other cheek? And it's like, I don't think I have anything else to say after that comment. That shit was fucking ridiculous. The only hope that we have for, apparently, for any justice out of this situation is for the federal government to pick up the case as a hate crime. And keep in mind, they would not apply this logic anywhere the fuck else, because let's say you had a young black male and a white dude threw water on him after the black dude called him a cracker, right? And the black dude killed the white kid. Would these same people in these comments be saying, using the same fucking logic? They wouldn't. This has been James, otherwise known as Escape Punk Lefty, with a very sad video. You guys have a good rest of your day, if you can.